Hi, and welcome to another episode of Lori's Learning Journey. Today we ask the question, what do mistreated workers want most? Now, if you're like me, when you think about workers that have been mistreated, they want money, they want praise, they want an apology. Turns out that's not the answer. I'm going to tell you a particular story from a research project that we did. There's a woman, I'll call her Teresa, who had been working at a funeral home company for quite some time. She was in her 70s, and it was her second career. And it was one of these companies, it's a giant company, and they hadn't really given her any training. So she just figured out that if she went out to the grave sites and she went out to the memorial areas and talked to people who were leaving flowers and expressed her concern and her condolences, that they would feel like this particular funeral home really cared, and they would end up recommending that funeral home to their friends. So she was doing really, really well until one day she had a chronic kidney condition and it flared up, and she was getting really sick and tired and having to take breaks. So her manager said, look, you've got disability, why don't you just take some time off? So she thought about it and she said, all right, I will. Well, it turned out nobody at the company understood how to make the disability insurance work. So now she's not at work, she's not making any money, she can't get her disability. So she wants to come back, but she can't until she gets all the paperwork for the disability. Anyway, it was a problem. So a friend of hers suggested that she get a lawyer to try to get the disability money. So she does, and she gets the disability money. So now she's back at work and she's like, if I had known it was going to be that hard to get the disability money, I wouldn't have gone on disability no matter how sick I was. So she comes back, she becomes salesperson of the year. Again, 72-year-old woman kicking it for the entire company. So they go out to a company picnic to celebrate all the great salespeople. She falls and breaks her kneecaps on the hiking trail. Well, now she's got a workman's comp claim. And because she's hopped up on all these painkillers, she's not thinking clearly. And remember what happened with the disability insurance. So her friend's like, you better get a lawyer now, Teresa. So she gets the lawyer to make sure that she's going to get her workman's comp because she just wants to go back to work, to go back to the job that she loves. Well, it turns out there's a thing where a lot of companies make you sign an agreement before you start that says if you have a dispute about workman's comp, you have to go into what's called arbitration, which is like kind of a referee room with two lawyers talking to each other. So she gets her lawyer involved, the lawyer goes, they do arbitration, she gets her money. Yay, she's going to get her money, she's going to get healed, she's going to get to go back to work, right? Wrong. She doesn't get to go back to work because in arbitration, part of the settlement is she gets the money, but she can never work for this company or any of its affiliates ever again. What do you think she wants? Think she wants a big check? No. You think she wants an apology? No. You know what she wants? She wants her job back. And when I met her in her home, she had these big circles, like white space where something had been on the wall. She and her husband were selling the medals and the decorative items that he had received as commendation for his time in Vietnam. And they were selling those so that she and he could afford to upgrade the air conditioning in their car so that she could work as an Uber driver. And all she wanted was her job back. Another woman I met had been working with a big company for 17 years. That company got bought by another company. Well, it turns out her salary, according to her job title, she was doing a lot of other stuff, but they hadn't upgraded her job title. Well, based on her job title, they said your salary is too high. So you can either move to another state away from your family and your grandkids, or you can stay here and hang out and hope you get a job, or you can take a lower salary and wait till your job description catches up with your salary. So she picked keep a job at least and hopefully catch up with my salary. And Once a year, she went to a conference because she was part of an employee group that gave input to the management team. And she was so excited because she would go to the breakfast line with her name tag on, and they'd be like, Martha, hi, Martha. Special, important people saying hello to her and asking how she's doing. And she got to ask a question of the CFO at a fireside chat. When I met her in her home, she had a floor to ceiling bookcase of memorabilia with this company's logo on it. What did she want? Did she want more money? Yeah, of course she wanted more money. What she really wanted was for someone to recognize how hard she was working, to say, you matter and what you're doing matters, and to treat her fairly. She didn't want to try to screw anybody over. She didn't want to do a big lawsuit. She didn't want a big thank you. She just wanted to be valued, and she wanted to be fairly paid. So I want you to think about, in the news, there's a lot of discussion about quiet quitting, or why aren't people working hard, or these lazy people. And I want you to think about maybe some of those people have been mistreated. And maybe all they want is their job back. Or maybe they just want someone to treat them fairly. Maybe you know someone like that in your life. So who are you maybe falsely judging or deciding that you know what they want, when really it might be something bigger than you anticipated? So that's what I've learned. I hope you learned something too. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate the opportunity to share this with you. Hope you liked it, and we'll see you next time.